And we're rolling. Michael Butler's back with me. It's a dungeon session. We haven't recorded a night before. And we were brainstorming topics the other day. And you told me you've been listening to country music
Oh
last
yeah.
year or so.
Yeah. So I think it started like 2 years ago when I was in Alabama. So lived in Alabama for about a year. And I think the only radio stations available were country, and I didn't want to pay for Sirius XM. So I went with country, and then driving to and from Illinois, I think the only place the country stations and talk radio, and to stay awake, I listen to country music.
Yeah. Country and Western. All right, man. So I was like, all right, I actually worked for a couple country stations, so I know some of it. It's not my favorite format, but is one I've been exposed to for a considerable amount of times. And when you hear that many songs, I mean, it's shoot, I worked there for at least 16 years.
Jeez.
Some of, yeah, some of them just stick with you. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's all right. So I was gonna do songs, but there's such a wide array. So yeah, this way I can get clusters of songs with some of my favorite artists. So what we're gonna do is modern country artists. So basically from '90 to now, because man, that goes way back again. So to only fit down six, we could do a classic country one for another day. I don't know, but 90 and above kind of when things kind of switched and there was more crossover, more wide acceptance. People were, you know, it knocked a little bit more, had some more beats to it, had some more guitar to it, had a little bit more rock to it. So that's what we're doing, my friend. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Uh, Long day of football. Well, short day of football. Two games.
Right?
Two games. Got to see that. Watched my boy Connor lose his swag last night.
Oh, you
So
got it? You got the fight?
no, man, like I couldn't pay for it because he was kissing babies before the fight, donating money to charity. Like I just knew it was going to be a short night for my boy. He lost all his swag, so
Yeah.
if he gets that swag back, maybe he'll be able to come back. But he's done.
He's not hungry, man. He's just not. I there were a lot of people that were in on a first round KO bet on that, and I just didn't see it, dude. But whatever, man. It's not really my sport. I only watch from time to time. I'm not really an avid MMA guy.
I just need something, man. Something. I need something for that fix, and that wasn't it. Neither was that old man fight with Roy and Tyson, but the commentating it's what kept me in. I got it
That
on a
was
boot.
about it, dude. That was weird. That was just weird. I don't like that. I wasn't a fan of that. Nate Robinson's memes lasted longer than most of the action. It was brutal.
Yeah, it was great.
But now Bernie's taking over. All right, man. So draft format, whatever you pick, I cannot pick, and vice versa. With always the guest goes first. So with the first pick in modern country artists, and that can be bands or solo. We do have a no Taylor Swift rule. She crossed over a little too much. Some of them might have some crossover hits on my list, but when you switch your whole focus onto pop, you just can't. It's crossing the streams. It's Ghostbusters. You can't do that. So without her on deck, give me your first pick.
So with my first pick, I'm gonna go with Little Nas X.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm gonna mention all my hip hop guys in there. So Lil Nas X wasn't my sixth pick, but hey, whatever that song was that he had, it was hot.
It was,
Uh,
man. That like broke records. It was on the Billboard charts for like ever.
yeah. So Old Town Road, that's it.
That's
Um, so my guy, he was on The Voice. He was on Usher's team. His first single came out while right after he got kicked off The Voice. Um, it was The Way I Talk. So probably still don't know who he is, Ryan, but I'm going to educate you. His second single is Up Down with Florida Georgia Line.
I've heard
And
of them.
then, okay, yeah, well, I see. I knew I could bring you in. His third single was Whiskey Glasses. That got him on WWE. Um, and then it's Morgan Wallen. So he's got 2 albums out right now. He's been on the WWE. His song out right now, Seven Summers, was the most down, or whatever they call it now, the most streamed song
Ah,
when
yeah,
it
yeah.
first came out. It's big on that format you like, TikTok, tickety talk. Seven Summers, the famous line in the Seven Summers was, "Girl, I bet you make your daddy so proud." But
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen, big new artist. I like him. I like his swag. I like his music. And then I can pretty much bump anything by him.
All right, man.
Damn, I'm in
Yeah,
there.
you're dropping knowledge. I'm out of the game, man. Most of mine are gonna be are a little more classic, even for modern guys. Some of them are still making cuts, but you know, they were my formative years. So mine are gonna be a little bit more. I don't know. So this will be a good match, dude. I Morgan Wallen. It definitely sounds country.
Oh yeah, like his song "The Way I Talk." That's the first song I heard by him, and he
Mhm.
talks about not cussing around his mama, and then like his speech slurs down when he has a couple beers watching Tennessee, and just his little swag there. Everybody that was on my list got a little hip hop swag, a little R&B swag to them, which drew me to them.
Okay. Mine, yeah, well, there'll be a theme. But yeah, a lot of mine have more like an island theme to them. That's my country. When
That's
it kind of
weird.
crosses over into Buffett, like
That's weird.
it's like just don't even care, man. That's kind of a lot of mine are. Well, all right, my first one, uh, yeah, I had this song on our wedding CD performed by this artist. A lot of bangers. I'm gonna name them here in a second. And even though Taylor Swift is not eligible for this, she made a song named after this artist. She actually,
Oh
the
boy.
title of her song was called Tim McGraw because Son of Tug, Mr. Tim McGraw is my number one pick. Because something like that, Barbecue Stain, that was on my wedding CD. Killing Me in That Mini Skirt, man, he, that's my guy. Live Like You Were Dying is a song I still listen to a lot. My next
Everybody
30,
does.
my next 30 years. It's Your Love just does something to me, such a shot right through me. Him and Faith were like the power couple of country. I just feel like he's been around for a long time. He has a Just to See You Smile. That's a cut, dude. I do anything that you want me to do. Yeah.
I got a feeling we're gonna do a lot of singing here.
I might have to just to match up. Green Grass Grows. It's just like sitting on the porch watching my corn pop up in rows. He has a new one called Gravy. Not that new, but it's like one of his more modern songs. So yeah, it's like this is my life. This is everything's great, and everything above that's just gravy. You know how that saying goes. But he's been around forever. Some of his songs may predate the '90s, but I try to mention the ones that were a little bit more later '90s, 2000s, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't take my favorite country star of all time, Mr. Tim McGraw, actor slash country star Tim McGraw. If you ever saw Four Christmases or a couple others, he was the dad in one of those football movies too. I should have researched that, but he was either like Tweeter's dad from Varsity Blues. Curtis is gonna kill me, but yeah, Tim McGraw.
So you started with your number one?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's a draft, dude. You go with your number one pick, and then work
Oh,
back to the sixth round.
dude, I just messed up then. Like Morgan Wallen is definitely not my number one, but that's
Thanks for
okay.
watching, Michael.
Hey,
Thanks for
that's
watching.
okay. Hey, that's okay.
But
I can pick.
Was Tim McGraw on your list?
I got to knock Tim McGraw off my list. He was on my list, but that's okay. He wasn't my number one.
All right, cool.
So
So
I
I
can
get
come
two.
back to my number one. I can save face. So I'm just drafting like the Bears would right now, or Cleveland Browns. I'm drafting ass backwards, but that's okay.
So I get
So,
two extra picks then if you're the Bears.
oh shit, I can give you all my picks then, and just give me Tim McGraw, and we can call it a night.
All right.
All right. So I mean, we'll come back to this then. So like I was building up the suspense for this one, but we'll just get it out of the way right now. So my artist, he started in the 80s. He started at a band. His band ended up blowing up. They made a lot of hits that people remember. And then he left that band. He disappeared for like 10 years. And then he came back a country artist. And with his country artist, he became the first black. He won the first award um, for a black artist. And he had the first number one hit as a black artist. He won the new country award artist. He's been known as my Doppelganger. Is that how you say it?
Doppelganger. Yeah.
So Darius Rucker, man, that's my number one pick right there. Um, been bumping him since Hootie and the Blowfish, and now I'm bumping him with the wagon wheels. And have you ever done something for the first time? And he's just a bad dude, bad dude. That's my number one. I wish I had got him with my number one pick, but I got him with my second pick, so I'm still in there.
The listeners know now. I know he was on my list too. That wagon wheel cover's just creamy, dude. I love that song, dude. It's just cooks the whole way through, dude. Oh man, that's when I was like, whoa. At first, I thought it was kind of like a publicity stunt because the man has done Burger King commercials in his day. You know, I was like, okay, is he being serious with this? And he just came out firing, dude. Like, yeah,
And like I didn't get on him on the first wave, but then when people kept saying, "Hey Mike, you look like Darius Rucker," I don't agree with that whatsoever. But I was like, let's see what this guy has to offer. And I think Wagon Wheel was the first one I played, then All Right, and then just it's nothing but hits from this man. And like the music writing is great. Like he broke up with his woman and he burning cups of coffee and trying to get her back, and like this is his plea to get her back. Oh man, he's got Darius Rucker. That's my
he,
dude.
he knows the country way, man. I think most songs have a couple of those things in it. But yeah, I think he found his lane. Like I don't, Hootie was fine. I don't really remember many of their songs, but it obviously didn't work. So I think this is more of his speed. Yeah, I'm gonna do a side by side of you guys when I post this, probably.
I don't agree with it whatsoever. And he's 11 years older than me, so we are not the same age.
Yeah, man, and he like he has face. He looks weathered, man. He's more weathered. You have that good skin, Mike. You're nice and you're not wrinkled up, man. You're nice and smooth. Shoot. All right, where do you go number two? All right, I'm gonna go with Tim McGraw's Running Mate.
Uh-oh.
Again, I was talking about that island vibe. But when I first started at Wixie, which is the country station I work for,
I knew Wixie.
I did not know any country songs except for some Johnny Cash. That was it. And I was doing all these live appearances, setting up all these promotions, events, stuff like that. And it hurt just hearing this in the speakers over and over again. And then a song came out, and I was like, I don't know if he's in on the joke or if this is just leaning into the country feel. Nowadays everybody does like the truck bed, the beers down by the lake, my woman. But before they lean into it, man, he came out with "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy." That was the name of his cut, and that was the whole song. And it cracked me up when I heard it. And then I realized it was a metaphor about halfway through it. I'm like, okay, tilling upper land, I see you. And then I was just like, okay, man, I can respect this more if they just lean into it and just like, man, she thinks my tractor's sexy. So that's my guy, Kenny Chesney. The more recent song of his, American Kids, that's my jam. That's a pop.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great.
He has that summertime song that cooks, and then he mixed in with Buffett there for a little while and did the whole blue chair. Dude was always barefoot, like on a beach. All his videos are beautiful. Like he just totally just leaned into that too. And I just kind of liked how he kind of went with the curve as he aged and kind of did a little bit more of just like chill music, man. So I really like Kenny Chesney. Tiny dude. I met him in Danville. Uh, he played the Palmer Arena when he was a much smaller star there. And met him backstage, and he's like maybe 4'9", dude, just tiny, maybe 4'9", 105, like, yeah, tiny dude, man. But he was cool. He talked to us for a while. He talked about how him and Tim McGraw got into some stuff with some police horses and Like, man, I don't know if he should be sharing all this information, but he was cool, man. It was a good time. So I had to take Kenny number two.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm rewriting my list as we think here because he was on mine. So just like the Bears, I drafted wrong, but that's okay. I like Kenny. Kenny's the badass. The American Kids, like I love that song. I still bump
Yeah.
that. I bump that every day on my way to work.
Living on
Um,
couches, like, yeah, he paints the scene, dude.
Well, I gotta get my shots off. Still get my draft picks in here. So my second pick, my wife just wanted me to put this disclaimer out here. She does not like him. He left his wife when she was pregnant to get with an American Idol star. Then they released this big press release that it was a bad lapse of judgment by both of them. And then him and his wife immediately filed for a divorce. And next thing you know, he's married to her, got babies coming out of the way. I've seen this dude in concert twice. He's recorded, I think, like 9 albums. I think his album right now is called Ninth, pretty original. Um, he's released 35 songs since 2005, 22 number one hits. I saw him in concert 2 times in Bloomington. I actually there's one country bar in Bloomington, and he was at the bar. I offered to buy him a shot. He said, "Look, bro, I don't know you. A lot of people try to buy me shit, and I don't buy it. I'll buy you a shot, and we'll drink it. But I'm not buying anything that you buy me." So me and Jason Aldean did 2 shots together, and
Nice.
then we talked about the concert and everything, and then he was at the bar with Lady Antebellum, and
Oh,
they kicked it in. There's no VIP, so they just kicked it with the common folks, and then rode out. But yeah, Jason Aldean, a lot of cuts from him. Um, the last one that he came out with is a little slow jam where he's talking about being with this lady, and
yeah.
if you ever feel like being alone, and she was like, I don't. And like the bass line on that, it's got an R&B feel to it. Great song.
Yeah, man. Nah, he's a hit maker, dude. That's why you can when you only have to issue a lapse in judgment as your statement, you're a hit maker, dude. It's like, oh,
But my
okay.
wife hates him. But full disclaimer here, my wife hates him, but I bump him when we're in the car. She starts singing along because she doesn't know his music, and she's jamming with him. She's jamming with him. My daughter is like, "What's the name of that one Dirt Road song? Let's play that one." And he raps in his songs. I think he
Yeah.
even had a cut with Ludacris.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I forgot that nugget. I forgot that Tim, my number one pick, kind of kicked that off when he did his whole Nelly thing.
yeah,
Well, he was one of the first ones, man.
Port of
Uh,
Georgia Line did a song with Nelly as well.
yeah,
They did a remix to Cruise.
I remember that one. I remember that one.
Nelly must be the go-to country rapper.
Well, he made Country Grammar was his first hit.
Oh
So
yeah,
maybe
true
they
that.
misunderstood what exactly he was talking about.
True that.
All right, man. Well, shoot. I kind of see where your lane is. So I might need to switch up my order.
Yeah.
There's another guy I got to get, but I was kind of saving him a little bit later.
Oh yeah. I see it coming now. I already know.
Two of my favorite country songs. There's Nowitzki, and then there's Dirks, plural, Bentley. That's my guy, dude. That's my guy.
No
I
doubt.
love,
No
I
doubt.
love What Was I Thinking? That was like when that came out, it kind of like had that high pace, dun dun dun. What was I thinking? Dad's peppering his tailgate with the shotgun. He's running out. He's wiling out. I love that cut. And then recently, Drunk on a Plane,
Yeah.
where basically he takes the honeymoon by himself and just buys everybody on the plane except the pilot drinks. That song slaps. The song that might be the theme to my 20s is I always have to write this one down. Am I the only one that wants to have fun tonight? Where he's just basically calling up all of his boys, driving around, trying to see who wants to go out and kick it. It's like, don't worry, I'll go out by myself, but I guess I'm the only one that wants it. That song, man, I feel the guy talks to me, dude. And
Oh man, come on. You know I was always down to kick it.
yeah, right.
There ain't never been a night where I didn't want to go out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it don't matter. Friday and Saturday were a given, but I understand what you're saying. There might have been times
True.
where I wasn't available.
Right. But yeah, I still, it's a hard for me to say Dirks. That's a tough one. Dirks. But yeah, he played the Canopy Club while I was at the station. Man, he turned that place out. He's just a fun guy, and some of those themes, dude. I love when people, when their songs have a certain, like, all their songs kind of have a certain thing, and it's just kind of like, man, he's just up on it, dude. He always wants to have fun. Might go a little too far. What was I thinking? But I did it anyway. Oh, I'm out. It's just like not really giving a shit.
That's
Oh yeah.
awesome. Yeah. I knew a lot of people like bumped him. I thought he was a group when he came out because I
Word.
was heavy into hip hop and I was like, what is this Dirk Bentley group? So yeah, bad dude, bad dude. Oh man, you're gonna make this easy for me, man. Because like this was probably the last one that I gotta get off before you get it. Now I get it. So this dude's my age. Um, he was a songwriter for Travis Tritt. He's got 10 albums in the game, 22 number ones. He was a judge on American Idol. He was when Donald Trump, before we had Donald Trump as our guy, he was on Apprentice. Um, the first album of the decade winner. And then he did his pop-up concerts. So he did a pop-up concert in some field outside of Champaign. Um,
Okay.
my man Luke Bryan.
Yeah, he did.
um, Knocking Boots. Like I thought it was like an H-Town song when I downloaded it. And I was like,
Right.
okay,
No.
I can get down to Knocking Boots. And then like My Kind of Night and Play It Again. Like this is my dude, man. So Luke Bryan, I love him.
Yeah, man. No, he did play that the whole area was in a tizzy when they announced that cornfield show, man. Like, and when the day it happened, it was like we host a marathon here in Champaign, and everybody just kind of stays home. So it's like I don't want to sit at a stoplight while this guy, I can't even run like 7 miles. These guys, God bless them, but I don't I don't want to sit at a stoplight waiting for someone to walk across. That's brutal. When this thing came out, there was like lines down two-lane highways everywhere, man. He was crushing it. I remember Knocking Boots from Candyman
Oh yeah, there you go.
because I thought about at one, and it could happen again. So, but like some of the first CDs you ever bought category for a draft, or like what are CD mistakes you made when you were a kid. But Knocking Boots by Candyman, I had the whole CD. When they was in the cardboard box like this big with
Oh
the
yeah.
polka dots. He's in pajamas for I don't why Knocking Boots, I guess. But yeah. And then when I heard this song, it clicked. I'm like, oh, Knocking Boots. Like, okay.
But if we didn't have that song, I wouldn't know what he was talking about. You
no,
know, when
no,
it plays for my daughter runs and grabs some boots and puts them on and clicks them together. You know what I'm saying?
right. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, back then I was like, oh, okay, it's just slang. They made it up. Like, okay, maybe it's booty or something. Okay. All right. But now it finally clicked, like decades later. Yeah, Knocking Boots, man.
That's
All right.
awesome.
This is gonna kind of go back to that island feel. This is a band. They dip their toe in it a little bit, but their most, I think their probably two most famous songs are the ones that really kind of put them on my map was Chicken Fried,
Oh man.
Cold Beer on a Friday night,
Oh
Radio
man.
Up,
Oh
and
man.
Sweet Annie. Sweet Annie
Oh,
was is just a beautiful song, and I had to choose the Zach Brown band
oh
with my
yeah.
with my number 4 pick.
No
But
doubt.
yeah, they did Castaway, Toes. That's my cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love Zach Brown band, so I had to put them on there.
Yeah, Toes is my shit, man. Like
Yeah.
I bumped that where he's talking to the Mexicans in Spanish and
Yeah.
everything.
Ay,
Oh man.
Dios con
I was,
Dios. Yeah.
yeah, I sing along and I'm just like, I don't know what he's saying, but come on, muchachos, do what he said. But yeah, that's a great
Right.
song.
That's
Great band. Like that
yeah.
would have been, yeah, you lucky you got him.
but that was kind of my, again, man, it's just like I can picture like if I'm in a cantina in like Mexico and like that, I'm automatically taken there, and I love that vibe from time to time when I'm listening to music. So maybe it's like a up up down down left right BA select start. Maybe I'm doing a cheat code here by getting a little bit of island feel in the country, but they all kind of intersected a little bit. So there's rock, there's a little hip hop, there's a little bit of everything now. So that's why it's modern country, but yeah, a lot of my picks always have like, okay, yeah,
I can dig it. I can dig it. Just made me relight my list, but it's all good. I got some bangers, man. I got some bangers. So my next dude is biracial. He didn't know he was biracial until he was 8 years old because his dad was incarcerated. He was on X Factor. They tried to put him in a boy band, so he quit the show. Then he started making music online, just doing covers of other people's music online. And then he started getting noticed. He got over like 1 million people watching him. And then he dropped an EP. Um, and then once he dropped his EP was funded by Kickstarter. So he got enough people, enough fans to pay for his album. He recorded his album. He released his first album. He released some songs on it, didn't blow up. So he re-released his first album. It didn't blow up. So he released this album a third time. And then it started to blow up. He's only got 2 albums out right now. But Kane Brown, my man, Heaven,
yeah,
loves or Lose It, Homesick. But he's got a mixtape out right now too. And his mixtape has got like he wanted to be an R&B singer, but he decided on country once he run a talent show at his high school. But he's got a mixtape out right now that I really dig. Like it's got a song called "Cool Again," and then "Be Like That." If you haven't heard them, they got a hip hop feel to them. They've got some hip hop artists on them. He even uses like cuss words in some of them. But it's helping me keep my faith that R&B will come back one day. But Kane Brown, like the dude's pretty smooth. He probably
yeah.
wasn't born when we were in high school, but it's okay. He was born after we graduated. Two
Right,
albums.
no, right in there, right in there. Because I did some research. I believe he was born. Don't quote me on this. Don't fact check it yet. I'm gonna say he was born in 1993.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You
Could be
know, we're
93, 94, right around there.
sounds
I
about
was
right.
like, I thought you'd have some more modern guys. So I'm like, I got to look up what I missed out on. And I
But
saw and I
yeah,
listened to a few of his cuts, but I figured it'd be disingenuous of me to just kind of, because I'm not familiar, I'm not really a fan. But I was like, okay, I like some of this, but I not familiar enough, so I couldn't take it, man. So yeah, no, I can dig that.
newer stuff's hot. The old stuff, like it's not even traditional country. Like if I'm hearing Heaven, I'm pretty sure Heaven crossed over. And then Homesick's definitely country, but the new album, it's even called Mixtape One. It's great.
I dig it.
Sweet.
Oh man, which way to go now? Which way to go? All right, I'm just gonna keep taking legends. That's what I'm gonna do. Since I said 1990, and this man's island type song came out in 1997, but
Okay.
everybody kind of knows him from like 1990. So I just got in there, like 91, 92. First time I heard it was at a wedding reception. Two of his songs are notorious wedding reception songs, "The Dance" and "I Got Friends in Low Places." But he really won me over with like the Thunder Rolls, Rodeo, Papa Loves Mama, and then two Pina Coladas. I was like, okay, now Garth's vibing, man. But I just saw him the other day on the inauguration. Still looks great. Still loving everybody. But the godfather of modern country, I believe when the country station I worked for when it started, all they did was play Garth Brooks 24 hours a day for like a few days till people noticed like this station's crazy. And then they launched into modern country, but they knew that would catch people's ear. So I can't leave Garth Brooks on the table. It's like getting, I don't know, It's like getting Harden in the second round. It's like, it's like finding a gem in the late round picks. I just can't let it slide, man. I got to pick him, Garth Brooks.
Pretty smooth, pretty smooth. His rendition of Amazing Grace wanted a little more soul in that, man. I wanted a little more soul. But Lady Gaga took care of us on the soul part. J Lo just did her little thing. But yeah, I'm with you. Like Garth was on my list for sure. I was gonna try and sneak him in. Now I gotta bring in one of my new artists, 2 albums in the game. This is my Biggie Smalls
I
of
think this is
country
your last
music.
pick, dude. I think this is your
I
last
know.
pick.
It is. This is my Biggie Smalls, man. This is my
Two
Biggie Smalls.
albums in and out.
What's that?
Said 2 albums in and out. That's all you need.
That's all you need when you drop 10 straight number ones.
Ooh.
Um, his first release was held the record for the longest country record on being number one at 44 weeks. My man Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
So he's got a bunch of songs out that he wrote eons ago, and he's just now releasing them when he does his albums. When he moved to Nashville, they got like this little in order to get in their association, you go down, you perform some songs for people, and then they do a PR for you. Well, he went there, and the lady told him to find another career because he was never going to make it. Uh, I heard this. He interviewed with Stone Cold Steve Austin, so I just saw this like a couple days ago, and then he released his album, and every song he's put out has been number one. So my man Luke Combs has a song called Hurricane, where he breaks up with a lady, then he meets her at a bar again, and then they're driving back home to his house, and like she shot his world like a hurricane. Um, but heavy rotation in my car, in my truck, actually, because I drive a truck now, which also explains my country asphyxiation. I always drove a truck, actually.
Yeah.
There was a 10-year span where I drove a Hummer, but on the outside of that, there was the pickup truck, and now I'm back in my truck. But yeah, definitely Luke Combs, my dude. Big boy, 5'8", like probably like 300 pounds, but big boy.
I like that, man. You're singing from different parts of your body when you're that big, dude. Only big boys can hit certain notes, man. I love that. Yeah, no, I've heard of him. I'm not as familiar with his music, but I've heard of him, man. That's dope. I like it. Luke Combs. Some of the names, dude, like I just wonder if they make them up or if they just grow into them or if they help form themselves or what. But it just seems like, or maybe it's just because rock people in hip hop just make up their own names so you don't hear many of their real names. So just being real about it makes it country. I don't know, but like you hear those names and it's just like, okay, yeah, yeah.
And I think I came across Luke Combs because I was looking for Luke Bryan, and like I didn't know the difference. And then I was like, oh man, this dude can sing. And then like he does a lot of live shows on Facebook, and like he's just a big dude. He looks like man, like I can't think of his name. I'll come back to it, but he looks like some pop dude that had like these songs. Like he doesn't look like a singer at all whatsoever, and he's
Right.
just a badass. And he loves like he's the epitome of country. But yeah, I like him a lot. I'm glad I got him at number 6.
That's a good one, man. I'm gonna look that up later. All right, man. I'm gonna run through my thought process and hit a few honorable mentions along the way because I feel I need to represent some female counterparts here. It was tough for me to take. I had 4 big ones there I couldn't let go. I kind of wanted to kind of go into the more modern, like Sturgill Simpson, Chris Stapleton territory. Those guys hit, and I like them. I like that whole movement, but I just didn't want to go there. They're on my honorable mentions though. Oh man, which one? I like Maren Morris. She's a new one. She has a couple crossover cuts. Thought about Alison Krauss because it is Payne Productions after all. How could I leave her out?
Okay.
But what I did is I kind of smashed all of, Faith Hill, Shania Twain, everything, all this into like a 90s, early aughts. They're still going today. New album's called Gaslighting. They've changed their name. They ditched the Dixie, but they're just the Chicks. So I'm taking them with my sixth pick as kind of a powerhouse group of women instead of one individual artist. When I first heard Sin Wagon, that was like, oh shit! Like that song came in and it was just like running with it, and Natalie's voice was keeping up with it, and oh man, I saw them at Assembly Hall during the Fly tour. Uh, Not the friendliest group of ladies I ever met, but I still never got my picture. They wouldn't let me get, they wouldn't let you use your own camera. You had to go up there, like walk up. Their photographer took the picture and took your email down and said you get it by email. And please don't like offer to shake hands or anything. It's cold and flu season. It was just like, man, this isn't even cool.
Oh man, they're big time.
Oh yeah, they big time the hell out of me, man. But it was you don't know that going in. Sometimes you get stories of Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney riding police horses, and sometimes you have to stand behind a velvet rope and wave like they're royalty. But they had a lot of cuts, man, and yeah, I had to take the Chicks. I like that they changed things up with the times. Yeah,
I like
that's
how you just covered all your omissions and everything. Like,
that was
I
my
mean,
thought
like,
process, man.
why didn't you just give a shout out to Patsy Cline,
It's modern.
George
It's
Strait?
modern. It's modern.
I mean, like my dude is Sam Hunt. He's got a song called "Don't Touch My Truck" with Breedlin, which is a rapper, and then he's also got a song like "Body Is a Back Road," where he's talking about meeting a girl with braids in her hair and riding through the back roads in his Cadillac. So like he's a badass dude too. But
Is
yeah,
he
I
the
gotta.
one that like kind of talks, sings? Sam Hunt, is he the one with like the deeper voice and does like the thing?
He's got vocals. Like he
Okay.
can he can sing, and like he's got the country twang, but he can lose the country twang for a
Okay.
pop hit and a
Yeah, yeah.
heartbeat.
I know what you're talking
Um,
about.
he's about to blow up. Like I feel like he's about to go through
Yeah.
like crossover like what's our girl's name? Taylor. I think
Yeah.
he's gonna be like Taylor. And then I mean like Lady Annabella. There's a girl in the group. Like I got to drink with them at a bar, so I can dig them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then I got like I can't pull up my list right now. It's really bothering me. Um, but I got another black guy that I like. His name is Jimmy.
Just Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy, man. I'm trying to find him. Find him. I'm gonna find him. But Jimmy, I don't know. I'm gonna come back to it. It might even be just like Jimmy Smith or something. But he's got a song called Best Shot, and I love him. And then Old Dominion.
Oh,
I
sure.
I thought you would have threw them out there. And
It was
then
tough to omit, man. I couldn't fit in some of my shoehorn ones, man. I was almost happy you took Darius Rucker because I couldn't. I was having a internal dilemma of where to put him and who to get rid of.
I mean, we left Blake. We left Blake hanging.
I've never been a Blake fan, man.
Man, he's got a song that like really makes me think of me and my wife. You name the babies, I name the dogs, and like the word for word on the song, like the wordplay with it is like the shit we do at our house. Like he's talking about parking his truck in the grass and his wife taking the driveway, and then she'll name all the babies they have. He'll name the dogs. Like she'll find the place where it's going to live. He'll find a way to pay for it. Like it's just great. Like the wordplay on it. And then like he's a good songwriter. Like he's a badass.
I might have to give him another shot. I like the personality. I think he's cool. Like I've seen him do skits and stuff, and like late show appearances and things like that. Like I think he's really cool, dude. But there was never really a song that I was like connected to. All right, man. I think we put together 12 strong picks, man.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt.
And then like 20 others in
Yeah,
discussion.
we just had to name them out there so people didn't think we weren't experts on this subject matter.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Mary Morris, 80s Mercedes, dude. That's my Mary Morris cut, dude. So I don't just like her pop stuff, folks. I actually she can belt. I like her. She can do it. That's kind of like got the 80s vibe to it. That was one aspect of country I haven't really seen breached yet. They do get into some hip hop, some rock, but I haven't seen like throwback 80s. I don't remember 80s country having like an 80s sound to it. It was
it
just
didn't.
country. It
Yeah,
was
it
just
was
country. It
a
was
lot
just
of
raw.
ukuleles and guitars, man.
Yeah, it was what's his name? Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah,
Family
and they
Tradition.
and I couldn't listen to it because it was depressing, man. They were kicking dogs and they were finding somebody else's truck parked in their driveway when they got off work.
Yeah.
Like it was sad. And they played it when I worked at Super Value over the loudspeaker. And like I just was sad every night that it was country night. And now there's a lot more upbeat stuff and I get it.
Dig it, man. So what are you watching these days, man?
I've been
Everybody's
on
at home looking for content. What are you watching?
so like we opted out of cable for like the longest and then like I went with this YouTube TV. So like we've got a sweet little package where we have everything. So I caught up on The Shy. I love that show.
Yeah.
Um, I finally watched Breaking Bad. So like I have this rule where like you have to have at least one black main character in it, and I didn't know that Breaking Bad had that one guy in there for a while. But when I turned it on and I saw him immediately, I was like, okay, this is cool. I can watch this. So I haven't been able to turn that off. Working my way to take him to Sal, and then Chicago PD on CBS. Like it's my shit. They just went through like a little series where the black officer was turning in all the other officers because one of them shot a black kid for no reason, even though it was in self defense. He shouldn't have shot him. So like they were trying to blackball him out of the police department in Chicago. Um, I don't know. Like I think I'm like on a Chicago kick. Like I just like everything Chicago. So like Shameless. I'm trying to finish up Shameless, another
Oh
Chicago thing.
man, is Kerry Rossum still gone?
I think so. So like
Fiona?
I'm like 2 seasons behind on it. So like I don't know if she came back for the last season.
Yeah,
But I know she was gone for a year, and it's
I
it's weird.
bailed when she bailed.
Yeah,
We
it's
ride, we
weird.
ride together.
I mean, but like I could have bailed a long time ago. Every time they changed out Neum with like another kid,
True.
like what the hell was up with that?
For
That's
real.
like a running joke for us. Let's see who's gonna be like the kid that's in the damn preview for the show is not the kid that's in the show. It's another one. Like, and the motherfucker could talk sometimes, and then sometimes he couldn't talk. Like I
Yeah.
was confused.
It was like they had an inside joke with each other. It's like, man,
They
what are
wouldn't
we
let
gonna
us in
do?
on it.
He's 5'10", one episode. Like what? All right, we know who's going to be in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
as of now. It's the Chiefs versus Tampa Bay Bucks. The possible goat. A lot of people think he's a goat. I only have one ring. He needs two hands for his. Versus the new kid coming fresh off the championship. Some say is the one to take the reins. So this will air before the Super Bowl. I think right now it's a 3-point line. But without the line, let's just say straight up, who you taking?
man. So it's a tough one. So if I was using my money, I would go with the Chiefs. Like if I'm using somebody else's money, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. So I am a Tom Brady fan. Been a Tom Brady fan since he's been in New England. He came to Tampa Bay, started off a little shaky, a little shaky. So like I was like, man, Tom ain't gonna be able to pull this off. And then he started getting a little bit stronger. He's got all the weapons in the world.
Yeah.
Their defense got all the weapons on defense in the world. They just need to put together a good game. And like I don't know what they can do to stop like Tariq Hill and all the other weapons they have,
Right.
Kelsey
That's the
and
key.
like Hardman. Like there's just too much speed. If they can contain the speed somehow, they do this for a living. I don't. But if they can contain that speed, I think they can win, and I want them to win, and it'd be a great story, like for Tom Brady to tell. And then I think he should get out of Dodge. I think he should retire.
I don't think he ever can.
He said he wants to
Dude
play
doesn't want
forever.
to. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what, man. He's drinking magic potions and he's doing like, having his lungs clear to oxygen and pump back in with nitrogen, or I don't know what the hell he's on, but the dude gets younger. And yeah, as the season progressed, I'm fall for it. I'm pulling for TB, which is funny because it's Tom Brady and Tampa Bay, so
Yeah.
it's like just universal. I'm pulling for TB, and yeah, I want to see him also kind of. He took pay cuts for New England. He was always cool with New England. They took a chance on him. I think he always felt like he had an obligation and, he liked it there. But I'd like to see him get one on his own. I know everybody's like, aren't you tired of seeing Tom keep winning? It's like, man, I want to see great players playing great. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I want to see them in the playoffs. I want to see them, or I want to see somebody knock them off. I want to see another Mavericks Heat matchup, where somebody shocks the world. So yeah, I want to see Tom Brady as kind of an underdog come through. So I'm gonna pick that. I think they did good with Diggs today. Like I think they had a good game plan. It's not like Allen hasn't been prolific. He's not Mahomes level, but he's got all the arm strength, if not more, and mobile. Like I think they did a good job, man. So yeah, actually, they didn't play the Bills, did they?
No, but it's okay. Like I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You feel like they would have had the same game plan on it. Yeah, I'm
They
with
played
you.
Rodgers. They played Rodgers. I had my games
Yeah.
mixed up, but yeah.
I mean, they held Devontae in check for the most part. They took out Aaron Jones. If they hadn't took out Aaron Jones, like he was starting to break some big ones off. But their secondary looked confused,
That's the
and
problem.
they got away with a bunch of them, and that's the scary part going against Kansas City. Kansas City will make you pay.
Ultimately, I think yeah, I think they're obviously the favorite and they have the better shot, but I'm pulling for TV.
I'm with you
No,
on
I
that.
don't think Kansas City's run game. It's like how much can you play back in coverage? I don't think Allaire and Williams can bust through and really take over a game. So I don't know.
So then they
Kind of
hand it
have to
off,
sell out.
hand it off to Hardman and let him break you off for
That's
50.
true.
Like I don't. That's the thing about this: the speed. And I had this discussion with one of my boys. Like I'm trying to figure out like if they didn't have that, if these players were on other teams, would they be good? And like that's the part we couldn't figure out. Would Hardman be good? Would Tyreek be good? Like would Kelsey would be good regardless. He's a
Yeah.
catch and tight end. But like the Hill, like he's like 5'8", and he's out there jumping over dudes taller than him and running around them. Just blows my mind. The talent that they have. Mahomes is figuring out new ways to throw touchdowns. He threw an underhand touchdown today. So like it's just crazy.
The rich get richer, man. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right, bud. Thanks for coming on with me.
All
I'm
right,
gonna let you
boss.
go. Everybody tuned out as soon as I realized the wrong teams were playing each other, so I'm gonna hit it off.